Hello and welcome to Managing Your Online Learning Experience, Tips and Tricks, or rather Skills and Tips. I'm Michael Crossfox. I'm the Academic Support Assistant here in Division of Library and Information Science. And today I just want to share with you some more technical advice that I've given students over the years that they find helps them manage their experience during their program of study. I've broken this out into three main parts: email management using Microsoft Outlook, data management in Microsoft OneDrive, and then a time management technique that I want to go over with you. Uh, and finally, we're going to end with how to communicate with your instructors. And as always, I end every webinar with housekeeping. All right, so let's talk about our email management. The university uses Microsoft Outlook for email. You students are advised to regard your @stjohns.edu email account as your first professional email. And that means that your content, tone, and timing should be professional in all communications from this email account. We also advise that the college regards emails sent from your St. John's account as official communication. So they regard messages from your university email to the Office of the Dean or the Office of Student Financial Services or the Office of the Registrar. They consider your use of that email account as a form of electronic signature. I include a video here for 20 Microsoft Outlook tips and tricks that's available on YouTube. And it also goes into setting up folders and rules. And I just want to show you something that's built into your Outlook, and that is forwarding. And you can use Outlook to set up a forwarding account in which your email, your university email, will automatically forward to any Outlook or any email client that you use personally. So you click the cog for settings, view all Outlook settings, and then there's a button here called forwarding. And you enable forwarding and just email to whatever email address you select. And always keep a copy of your forwarded messages in your Outlook folder, just so that you have a backup in case something happens, you get locked out of your other email address. You want to keep a copy of these communications because, like I said, the university and the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will be communicating to you via your university email. So it's important that you keep all of these items together. Again, this is covered in the video that's linked to here on this slide. The slide deck will be made available to all students via the DLIS LibGuide. So let's talk about data management in OneDrive. I find that if you use a naming convention consistently for all of the files that you generate during your program of study, it'll be easier for you to retrieve the information at the end of your program because your ePortfolio end of program assessment will be based on artifacts or assignments that you've completed during the couple of years that you've been a student in DLIS. So being able to retrieve that information easily will rely on how you name the files to begin with. I want to talk a little bit about collaborating in OneDrive and sharing a OneDrive document on YouTube. There's a video for that. Your assignments should be submitted in PDF, that's portable document format, unless specified another format specified by your instructor. There's a video here on how to convert a Word document into PDF. And you should also be archiving your coursework by term. And how do we do that? What does that look like? Well, there are a number of chronological schema that you can use in your naming conventions and also in your directory structure, your storage structure. But I'll show you what the university uses, and you can see this for yourself if you look at the CRN on Canvas. Under the course title, you'll see the 6-digit course registration number, or CRN, followed by one of these 6-digit term codes. And what the university uses is the format, the 4-digit year and 10 for the spring semester, 4-digit year and 30 for the summer semester, and 4-digit year and 70 for the fall semester. And you'll see that this imparts an alphabetization. It puts them in numerical order by chronology, bypassing the alphabetization of the term name. So this is how your file should be organized. in a structure that is chronological in order, and using the university term codes of 10, 30, and 70 will help you with that. So that's a handy tip for organizing your data in OneDrive. Before I move on to the next segment of managing time, let's just take a look at what OneDrive organization looks like. So here's all of my work related to my MSLIS. I've named the folder underscore MSLIS, and you see that it puts that special character at the front of the file name, puts the folder higher up in the hierarchy than numerical or other alphabetic arrangements. So here I have example of my naming convention. So it's always first initial, last name, underscore, the course number, dash, the name of the assignment, and dash, the time that I handed it in. Or I can include the full date of when it was due or when I handed it in. So this information is always present, and I can organize this by course or by term later on when I archive. We should all be archiving our coursework either during the semester or right at the end of the semester, just to make sure, again, that we can retrieve it later on when we need to put together our e-portfolios. I'll also give a quick demonstration here on how to convert a document into a PDF. You simply open the document, and from the File menu, click Save As, and download as PDF. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you want to submit the PDF directly to your instructor, you can, on the upper right-hand corner, click Share, and you can enter the email address of the faculty member, and that will send them the doc automatically. And that's it. Really easy conversion. Once you've completed your Word document and you want to submit the PDF, it's just a matter of 2 clicks to generate the PDF that you would submit to your instructor. So let's talk briefly about time management. You're pursuing your MSLIS, what will you be sacrificing? This question is a little harsh, and it comes from a Jesuit graduate program that starts out this way. The idea is that we cannot have it all. And you have committed as a graduate student to at least 10 hours of instruction per course during the program of study. And what that means is that you are responsible for scheduling at least 10 hours a week to deal with your coursework. And when we do this, we should be mindful of the 4 phases of working, and that's data gathering, which is your reading and researching, synthesis, which is writing and note-taking, analysis, which is a discussion either in the course discussion boards or any feedback that you get from your instructor during the process, and then finally, assessment. Not only should you rely on your instructors and classmates to give you assessment, but you should devise a process by which you're assessing your own work. One question that you can ask is, did I get my point across clearly? This is a self-assessment that will help you improve over the course of your study. So always seek out assessment, but you have to make time for these things. Data gathering, like I said, you should definitely try to schedule 2 to 3 hours a week for your readings and research associated with coursework. This means, and I'll talk a little bit about this later on in the time management technique section of this presentation, but you should be allocating time for reading. You cannot multitask. So your reading time cannot overlap with cooking time or with driving time, right? One doesn't drive and play baseball. I love to do both, but I can't do them simultaneously. You can attempt to, you can try it, but you'll find more likely than not that your end result will not be as strong as if you had focused on that task singularly. Synthesis is writing. Some people like to take notes as they read. I like to read for a chunk of time and then sit with myself and take my notes after the fact. And in those notes, because I finished reading, I can quickly flip back to the section and write some brief citations and references that I'll use later on. Analysis, again, this is any post that you have to critique or any critiques that you get on your discussion board posts from your classmates or from your instructors. Really give them time and sit with them and try to understand, start a conversation, and the dialogue will help you improve your processes and make sure that you find your voice and that you're actually listening to criticism and taking it to heart. Assessment, again, this comes also from your instructors, but you are responsible for assessing yourself. Review, revise. There is a reflection requirement for each of the artifacts that you present in your e-portfolio. So get into the habit now of reflecting on your work. Make notes on the paper and say, what would I have done differently? I got a 95 on this paper. What am I missing? How can I address that gap on the next paper? So we have a lot to consider in managing our time. And one of the tools we can use is something that a lot of us are familiar with, which is budgeting. Create a time budget. Consider your financial budget, how you categorize expenses, prioritize purchases, and plan for the future. You can apply those principles to your time. When are you most ready to learn? Could you get some reading done in the morning before you leave for work, on your lunch break? Maybe once a week you order pizza instead of cooking. Could you write while you wait for the delivery? Consider allocating smaller periods of time where you can be focused on a single course-related task. So I give you the Pomodoro technique. This technique is something that I've used for a long time, and it starts with prioritizing your tasks, setting a 25-minute timer. That's where the name comes from. Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. And this technique encourages people to use a little tomato-shaped kitchen timer. It costs about $10 at the local grocery store or even online. And you set that timer for 25 minutes. You work on the task until the time is up, the Pomodoro rings. You definitely want to try to complete the task or get as close to completion in 25 minutes. Then after 25 minutes of working diligently focused on a singular task, get up from your desk and walk around. Take a 5-minute break away from the work. And then for every 4 of these Pomodoro cycles of 25 minutes working, 5 minutes off, you get to take a 15 to 20-minute break. So I've been using this technique for so long that I no longer rely on the timer myself. My body just knows what 25 minutes of concentration on a single task looks like. This is what a typical workday looks like for me. By working in 25-minute increments, I can schedule my day by task or type of task. I start out by reviewing email and setting my priorities for the day. This starts with work left over from the previous day. Then I work through each priority one at a time for 25 minutes each until lunchtime. I have to stress that the most important factor in this technique is that once your 25 minutes of working is done, you walk away from your desk for 5 minutes. This helps reset your thinking, and you may even do some synthesis accidentally, which may inspire you to action when you return to your desk. So you see here, my first break from 9:40 to 9:45 is when I go up to the coffee machine and I get a cup of coffee in the office. My second break, I may water plants or check on office supplies. My third break, closer to lunchtime, I have a quick chat with a coworker. And then my final break of the morning before lunch is when I step outside. It's a longer break, so I step outside and take a little walk and maybe check on my social media on my phone. Um, when I get back from lunch, uh, I continue with the work I set myself up with in the morning and go until I end my day by prioritizing tasks for the next morning. If I have a meeting or anything else that disrupts my Pomodori, I schedule a 10 to 15-minute cushion afterwards to give myself time to get back into the 25-minute chunks. So you see here I had a meeting at 2 o'clock. Right before that, I did a little prep, reviewing the agenda and any documents related to the meeting. And then afterwards, I scheduled it turned out to be a Pomodoro, but I process and prioritize the meeting action items and discussions. And so this is how you can adapt in your workday by using smaller chunks of time. Instead of setting out an hour, just set out 25 minutes with a 5-minute cushion. It's half an hour, but it helps you to get more done and a more streamlined and prioritized way. Enhances your efficiency. The reason I suggest this technique is because it may be easier for you to find 25-minute openings in your schedule in 1 week than it would be to find 10 1-hour openings. By blocking out half an hour, spend 25 minutes reading and 5 minutes afterwards synthesizing into a notebook. You can do this I do it sometimes while doing laundry at home. I know that sounds like multitasking, but it's not. Because you load the washer, you start the cycle, you sit down and read, and then you write up your notes, and then you empty the washer when the cycle is over. Easy peasy. Now, if your schedule is disrupted and you won't be able to complete assignments in time, please notify your instructor as soon as possible. The easiest way to tell your instructor that your engagement in the course may be imperiled is via email. The sooner you get in touch with your instructor, the more time they have to work with you to make up work or advise you on an appropriate course of action. Sometimes students are shy or afraid to engage with their instructors. In some cases, your question may even be answered by another student in the course. If you have a question about the syllabus or an assignment, ask the question in your course discussion board. This way, if another student has the same question or knows the answer, they can comment. And if your instructor replies to your post, everyone in the course now knows the answer too. If you're disclosing something personal or have an emergency that may affect your studies, email the instructor directly to protect your privacy. If you have a question about the MS-LIS degree, the DLIS department, or your program of study, please check the DLIS LibGuide, blog, and student digest, and then reach out to your advisor or dlis@stjohns.edu. Now, your advisors and instructors are great references for internships and jobs. If you need a letter of reference, remember these tips. Ask the faculty member as far in advance as possible, a minimum of 30 days. Request a meeting to discuss your expectations and experience. Furnish your instructor with as much information as possible. What institution are you applying to? What job title are you looking at? Or what's the time frame of the internship? What are your professional goals and plans? You should include in the email asking for an appointment your resume or the application essay that you had to write for the fellowship or internship. And then also always let your instructor, your advisor know, or any reference, know the address to send the letter or the URL for file upload and include any deadlines. Now also have a backup. Be prepared for rejection. Sometimes faculty are simply too busy to take time out of their lives to sit and write a meaningful and thoughtful letter. Again, as far in advance as possible, will open up a window for the faculty member to engage with you and get you the response and the reference that you need to land that job or internship. Finally, here are some resources for dealing with your experience. As a student at St. John's, you have access to the University Center for Counseling and Consultation. So again, if any crisis emerges in your life, reach out to them. They will not disclose with your faculty. These are confidential services offered to all students at the university. There's also the University Office of Disability Services, which offers a range of assistive technologies that you can use to enhance your learning experience. For instance, converting text to speech is a way that you can get through very dense technical readings that you'll encounter here in the Division of Library and Information Science. Here's a fun fact. A lot of public libraries have a book scan station that runs that conversion. You can take a paper book to the scanner, scan it, and the outcome can be either a PDF or a searchable PDF, or in some instances, an MP3 file with an automated voice, an artificial voice reading the text to you. And you can just play that during your drive or during your commute. You can play the text to speech version of any document that you've been given in your coursework. So reach out to your local library. Also, I suggest that you reach out to your local library and introduce yourself as a library school student in an online grad program to a reference librarian, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you and support your studies. University Career Services is a great resource for jobs and internships. You can access them via this link or the handshake button on your single sign-on homepage. And finally, there's the Veteran Success Center that runs events and groups. I don't know if they do them online synchronously, but it's a great resource, and this link will take you to their webpage for investigation. And again, this deck will be made available via the Student LibGuide. Finally, housekeeping. If you intend to graduate in January of 2023, your e-portfolio is due on Tuesday, November 15th by 5 p.m. Thanksgiving recess. The university will be closed November 23rd to 25th. And finally, our last DeLISA webinar for the fall 2022 semester will be on December 1st, and we will hear from a librarian involved in the Empire State Immersive Experience program, where they digitized and created a virtual tour of a series of academic libraries and other cultural institutions in Western New York as part of the Empire Digital Library Network, or Empire State Digital Library Network. Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found these tips useful. If you watch the video and you encounter anything, any difficulties at all, feel free to email me. I am cruzm@stjohns.edu. Again, Michael Crossfox, signing off.